That's real good.
This episode is brought to you by Richie Connors of World Financial Group, your go-to for financial advice and insurance solutions. At World Financial Group, agents help families and individuals achieve financial security through personalized solutions in insurance, investments, retirement planning, and debt management. Guided by their mission of no family left behind, they offer complimentary consultations to sit down, discuss your personal situation, and create a plan tailored to your needs. For your free consultation, reach out to Richie today. Be sure to like and share Richie's Facebook page at Richie Connors/insurance agent. Also, Richie has stepped up to the plate to support the podcast by organizing an incredible raffle draw to help us keep bringing you the softball stories you love. You could win amazing softball memorabilia and equipment, all while supporting Outside the Chute. Want in? Head to Richie Connors/insurance agent Facebook page, where you'll find a QR code to complete your ticket information online. Together, we're keeping the softball community strong. Hey, what is happening? Hope everyone had a great week. Welcome to episode 167 of Outside the Chute. I'm your host, Randy Frame. What an episode we have for you this week, as we had the pleasure of sitting down and chatting with easily one of, if not the best men's softball pitcher in the world, the one and only Jack Besgrove. Jack is already a WBSC Men's World Cup champion, an ISC World champion, and a two-time Leroy Zimmerman Award winner as the most outstanding pitcher at the ISCs, and he's only 20 years old. That's just crazy. We talked to Jack about getting his start in the game down in Australia, his rise up the ranks through the early years, bursting upon the scene at the 2022 Men's World Cup, coming over to North America, joining the New York Gremlins, and much, much more. Jack was an absolute pleasure to chat with. We were so happy we were finally able to line this up and have this chat. One other thing before we get to Jack here, snap a screenshot, let us know that you're listening, tag us. Jack's at jbesgrove_ on Instagram. We're at Outside the Chute on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. With that being said, this is Outside the Chute, and anything goes.
I got the world in my palm, lights, camera, action, it's on. I can't describe what I'm feeling, ain't never felt this freedom. I got the world in my palm, lights, camera, action, it's on. Ain't never felt this freedom. Could you say that anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes, anything goes. You wanna know me? Real deal hip hop.
Hey, Hobie.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. Good.
Excellent.
Another week?
Another week.
Back
big
to back.
guest.
Back to back?
Yes, I'm not even used to this, but
Oh.
it's good. Big ass guest coming on today.
Ooh, big ass guess. We'll say who it is here in a bit.
Yeah,
But,
it's exciting.
Well, I'm sure everybody knows by now because it would have been posted. But
Right.
we had a lot of feedback from
From Doug's.
Doug's episode.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Doug's interview. What the
it was
phrase
long.
say to us today?
Yeah.
Were you guys even on the podcast?
I know. Yeah.
But we knew that going in that Doug was going to do the majority of the speaking.
Oh yeah,
which
we
is
knew
great.
that, which is
That's
awesome for us. Yeah,
Yeah.
And I was telling you earlier, I had a text from Varm, and he said,
Yeah.
"I'm 25 minutes in, and you've asked one question."
It was awesome. It was great to have Doug on. Doug is an ambassador to the sport.
Big time.
A lot of people commenting, back and forth with you and I, just how great of a podcast it was and stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. It was really good.
Stories, like the big thing was a lot. The feedback I've gotten was his memory and detail was just
This fucking
ridiculous.
stupid, man.
Yeah. Unreal.
Yeah, Todd Martin has nothing on him.
I know. Sorry, Marty, but it's
You do,
true.
Marty.
You probably know. You probably know that anyway.
Yeah. No, it was great. It was exciting.
Kenzie update?
Yeah, I got just a small one. Jeff said that Kenzie's home now. She got home Tuesday, and we're recording on Thursday.
Yep.
She got home Tuesday, was back in today, which is Thursday, had another checkup with the doctors, and they're very pleased. So that's trending in the right direction. So
Awesome.
yeah,
That's
still
good.
praying for Kenzie all the time, though, of course.
All the time.
Always thinking about her and always thinking about the family, and keep her plugging away, Kenzie, you animal.
You crazy animal.
You're
Good job,
an
Kenzie.
animal. Great job.
One thing I wanted to mention, we mentioned the the draw that Richie's putting on.
Oh, yes.
The
Yeah.
tickets on sale and everything that we mentioned last podcast, and I'm sure everybody's seen it on social media. One thing I wanted to say is it's not one big draw. So it's going to be, I'm just looking at it here. He has the signed Team Canada men's jersey.
That will be a draw.
Right. And then the bat and the batting helmet and the 50th anniversary ball. So yeah, so there's going to be 5 separate draws.
Yeah.
Which makes it even better. Like there's like, five
chances of 5 prizes.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, if you want your tickets, go on our social medias and it's all on there. I think, what is it? There's a QR code too that Richie put up. If you scan the QR code, it takes you right to the page.
Like a link?
Yeah, the page where you put all your information in and
Right.
and all that. And again, if you do this, we thank you
Yeah.
a lot because
Well, first of all, thank you, Richie, for doing this for
for
us.
sure.
And your company, it's fantastic. And then anybody to purchase any tickets, we certainly do thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's, for you guys, actually, it's not like we're making any money off of this shit.
Nothing. Zero.
Because I'd have a full head of hair if I did. But no, I'm kidding. I actually know what would happen if I made a bunch of money doing this. I would hire somebody to do all my renovations.
Oh, right. How's that going? What's happened in the last week?
Well, fuck. So I discussed with you about tearing up all the tiles. Like there's probably 8 million tiles in my house that I tore out. And
They were all ceramic, right?
ceramic, yeah. And then, so my front entryway was the last of my tiles to tear up. So I tore it all up. I got it all out of there. But then I have to chip away at the shit on the subfloor because it has to be level, obviously.
Right.
So on my floor, for some reason, there's 2 subfloors. So they put down 2. So I didn't know that until I started digging. And of course, I'm hammering away at the tiles and I'm tearing up some of the subfloors. I'm like, fuck. So for the last week, I've been on my hands and knees with a scraper, just scraping the top layer of one of the subfloors. Nice. So my father-in-law was at my house. He's helping us with the renovations. And he said, do you have one of those tools that you tear the shingles off a roof with? I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I know exactly.
It's like a shovel, but it has a bunch of notches in it that you can get the nails and stuff.
Yep.
I was like, yeah, I do. I got one in my shed. So I went and grabbed it. I brought it in the house. He stopped what he was doing, which was the backsplash. He comes over and he just jams it under the subfloor, both the subfloors. And he keeps jamming. All of a sudden, a big piece of 4x4 subflooring comes out, the whole fucking thing. So what I've been doing for the last 7 days took me 25 minutes last night to complete. I tore the whole fucking thing out last night.
You know what
in
they
25
say?
minutes.
Old school, baby.
Yeah.
That's
So anyway,
awesome.
aside from that, it's coming along well.
All right.
Yeah. We'll have to post some pictures on our socials.
Yeah.
Fuck
See
that.
how it's going.
Post some pictures of my divorce papers.
Aaron keeps us updated on socials.
Yeah. It's going well though. Thanks.
So yeah, we got a big guest.
Yep. Jack Besgrove.
Yes, this guy's. You think he was a veteran by how much he's won so far? And
I still can't believe he's 20 years old.
yeah, so
And he won't be 21 until December what?
December 17th.
Yeah. He's
So-
he's 20.
Yeah. So we were talking about this. He was 18 when they won the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, first go back to what we had talked about earlier. Like Brody was in the World Championships, the
U18s in New Zealand. And
Jack was also there with Team Australia,
yes.
but as their third pitcher.
Yeah. And 16 years old.
As a 16-year-old.
Yeah.
Brody was very young. Well, Brody's same age, actually.
Oh, okay. Right
Yeah,
on.
I believe they're the same age.
Either way.
So very, very young.
And then think about that. Like, I'm sure we're going to ask him about this and what he did. But the fact that, that U16 team and, I'm basing on the stats that he was this third pitcher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But the improvement that he made in that 2-year span, like going from U16
to U18. No, so U18.
Sorry, U18
to U20.
to starting and winning the men's World Cup final is just fucking amazing. Like it's just bonkers. So, man, I can't wait to hear his whole story on, what he did and like anybody listening.
How did he get there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to, like, anybody listening, like if there's young people listening and Jack's able to tell us what he did, like take that for yourself. Like, you know what I mean? Like listen to what he's saying because
exactly.
He's 20 years old and the best pitcher in the world.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid.
It's just,
it's amazing. And he's so fun to watch.
Yep.
And I think we've said it before. he's so dialed in. You don't see any expression change on his face.
No.
Whether he throws a ball or he gives up he doesn't give up too many home runs.
No.
Except for Alan Pecker.
Yeah. Jesus, that was an anomaly. But
anyway, his demeanor doesn't change.
No.
Well, I mean, to us, it doesn't change by watching, but I mean, maybe he's a fucking shit show.
It's funny. Watched over the last 2 years quite a bit of him. And one thing I know, it's kind of weird that he has the same expressions as Connor McDavid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He does. Like, it's just
all business.
And even the look in their face is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eerie,
Like, it's
almost.
just
maybe brothers.
Phenoms.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when you're phenoms.
I guess so.
Anyway, this is going to be an amazing episode. And, it's been about a year in the making for us to get. I mean, we've been talking back and forth, and it's just nothing lined up. And finally, we've been able to line this up and to get.
We're very gracious that he gave us the opportunity to speak with him this evening, and
because it's going to be Friday morning down there.
That's right. Yeah.
Friday morning, 10 a.m.
Yeah.
It's down under.
The down under.
Let's get to Jack.
Sounds good.
Yo.
All right, here we go. We are happy to have on with us today 2022 WBSC World Cup champ, 2023 U23 WBSC World Cup champ, 2023 ISC World champ, and two-time ISC Most Outstanding Pitcher. He's only pitched in two of them, Hopi. So, I mean, it's the one and only Jack Besgrove. Jack, thanks so much for coming on the podcast, pal.
No problem at all. Thank you for having me.
How's things going down under this morning?
Yeah, not too bad. Just a nice morning in the mid-20s. So
Yeah, we're jealous on
beautiful day.
Awesome. Yeah. Like we said before we start recording here, it's a little shitty here.
Oh, and it's Friday there, right?
It's Friday there. Yeah.
Can you tell me what happened on Big Brother last night?
No, I have no idea.
I'm kidding. I don't fucking watch it. I'm kidding.
Jesus Christ. Right on. So how you feeling after that, the 3-game set you guys played with New Zealand a few days ago? I mean, must be nice to get back in that international competition setting.
Yeah, feeling pretty good. It's the first time we've had, I think, our international team play Australia for years. I think since 2010 might have been the last time. So
wow.
Awesome to give the fans that opportunity to see the Steelers play on their home soil, and to get 2 wins, and the last game to be as dominant as we were was good signs for the 2025 World Cup. So
I guess it was, man. So, geez, that's a long time since you guys got to play on home soil. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah. So
but Jack would have been like what, 4 years old?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just a youngin', huh?
6 or something.
Yeah. So how's league play going down there? You're with New South Wales, right?
Yeah. So we've just finished up kind of all our club tournaments for the year. So I play for the Sydney Tropics.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Named after the movie Semi Pro. So
nice.
That's
a bit of fun.
movie.
Yeah.
I love it.
We actually just finished the Skins tournament, which was before the 3-game series we played, and that's our last club tournament. So club season's pretty much done. Yeah, and we've into national kind of training and play. Nationals is in March, I think. So.
Right on. So as far as league play go, when does that start?
So it starts probably a couple of weeks once we get back from the ISC. So
September,
early September. Yeah. So that's obviously there's local club stuff, which I don't know how it works in Canada, but I play for a district in Sydney called Southern Districts, and we have local club there, but obviously not a lot of the top players play in that, but so we play that. And then from that, you kind of have we call it State League, which is all in New South Wales. And you play that on a Sunday from mid-September till I think it finished 3 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously there's local club tournaments around Australia that you can play in as well if your team wants to travel.
Right.
Right on. So, I mean, that the league where it's not as good as, you say, not as good as competition as state. I mean, what's it like with, guys getting in there facing you, for freak's sakes? I mean,
yeah,
that's going to be what's going on?
I only pitched to a couple of teams there that are, we have a couple of good teams in our local comp, but most of the time I'm playing like outfield or shortstop or something like that.
Oh, right on.
So it's a good bit of fun, and it's just nice to be able to play that kind of softball after playing, the top level stuff, and lets me have a hit and try and hit a couple of home runs. So that's always nice.
Yes, why not?
Now, do you use that bat that I saw in that slow pitch video?
Oh yeah, we're going to mention that. Oh, no comment on that, on that video, what, Jack? What?
Yeah, no, not really.
All right, buddy. So, let's go back to the beginning here. How did you get your start in the game?
So I'm from a small town in Australia, in New South Wales, called Orange. Obviously, my parents, my mum was at the cricket field most of the day with her brothers and her dad, and my dad was, in a similar boat, and they weren't a massive fan, so they thought, we'll give T-ball a go, which is obviously the kiddie version of softball, and ever since then just didn't look back, and been playing ever since, probably 4.5.
Right on. Love for it right away?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So did your mom play softball as well?
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Just local level and state level and stuff. So.
Oh, excellent. So were there, growing up, were there guys that you looked up to at all, like locally or anything?
Yeah. Well, obviously, coming from the same country as Cheesy and Adam, and just watching them dominate our nationals for years, it was hard to not look at them. And obviously pitchers like Harry Peters, who I get to play with now in my my Tropics team. So
nice.
Got a good little bit of, probably 3 of some of the best pitchers in the world that you can, go watch and see what they do. It's pretty hard not to get better yourself and learn from them. So
yeah, really. So how old were you when you started pitching?
I would have been around 7 or 8 when I, watching local league and going, that was pretty cool. They get to touch the ball every pitch. That's what I want to do. So
yeah, so I
kind of got in like that.
Yeah. So can you remember a point, growing, like after you started pitching, where you're like, oh, geez, I might be really good at this.
Yeah. So obviously, I was kind of picked it up quite quick and figured out I could do it. And probably around when I was like 13 or 14, I was playing up in 17s, and I started kind of keeping my own there. I thought, maybe I'm actually all right at this. So
nice.
So I kind of gave up the hitting a little bit, not as much, but kind of just focused really hard on pitching, and it went from there.
Right on. So let's talk about your first major competition on the world stage, and that was the U18 World Cup in New Zealand back in 2020. That was like a couple of weeks before the pandemic hit, actually. How big of a deal was that for you at the time?
Yeah, so obviously I think the year before I didn't even make my state team, my New South Wales state team. So I got picked up for another state that needed a pitcher. So pitched really well there and made the Australian squad. And then from that made the team. So to even make the team for me was quite exciting, because obviously I didn't even make my state team. So there's, you didn't really think I was going to make the Australian team, but the head coach saw something in me and decided to pick me. And then I didn't pitch the final, but I did come in at the end to try and salvage things. But obviously the game didn't go to as planned as we thought. So
yeah, you guys had Japan in the final there, didn't you?
Yeah, we were actually up after the first inning, and I don't know, those Japanese, they just capitalize on every mistake, and they're so fast. So
yeah, for sure. Now, the funny thing is, like, I looked at the stats from that tournament. You were 3 for 4 hitting in the tournament. Well, they should have had you hitting more.
Yeah,
yeah, definitely.
So that was back in the hitting days, right?
Yeah, I was still hitting. I still hit now, but just obviously not at Australian level and for Gremlins, but.
Right on.
Just batted 700 at the Skins tournament, so hopefully.
Nice.
Jesus, man.
Greg's listening to this, and maybe he'll swing.
Yeah, for sure, man. Sure. Greg, you hear this? So here's a question: like during COVID, between that U18 World Cup and the 2022 men's one, like, did you work on your game 24/7? Because I mean, you burst upon the scene like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, like can you share?
Pretty much.
Sorry, Jack. Can you like share a specific adjustment that you made that elevated your performance?
Well, I didn't really have anything else to do because obviously living in Orange, not that much to do here, but just train probably, every second day. Did like heaps of fitness and strength stuff, and I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's just I kind of just, kept trying new things to see what worked for me, to see, that made me pitch a bit faster, or that made the ball move a little bit more. Just keep doing that. So just more of an experimental phase, and obviously I had 24 hours a day to experiment with my pitching technique and that kind of stuff. And then I remember the first tournament I came back, I was like, oh wow, like I don't actually have to speak. I don't know, tell me what I was throwing. I was like, wow, that's a massive adjustment to what I used to be throwing. So
yeah. Now, did you grow much like during that period during COVID? Yeah.
I think I grew.
That would make a difference.
Yeah, I went from just under 6 foot to like 6'3". So
yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's get to that World Cup now that we just mentioned. First, what was it like? Being named to the Aussie Steelers, because I mean that had to be just freaking amazing.
Yeah, so obviously, the last kind of real softball I played was the Junior World Cup, and at the Nationals, it was a bit of a weird stage. You didn't know who had what and how, some pitchers were going to come back after the pandemic. So you didn't really know where you were at, where in terms of, level in Australia, what, if you're kind of in those top 4 pitchers. So being named in that team, it was pretty special considering, I hope people only really knew your last tournament as the junior tournament. And so, yeah, definitely something special. And yeah.
So like leading up to that, so obviously you would have been, was there camps that you would have been going through with them?
So by memory, it was a little bit ago, but by memory, they just picked it from the Nationals that we had. So obviously I had to trial for New South Wales and go through that. And then Nationals was the first, was what they picked the team from.
Mm-hmm.
So that would have been early 22. Oh, no, late 21. I think it was April 21.
Okay, right on.
Maybe a bit further on, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, after getting named, and then you see the names on the list, I mean, like Cheese and Adam and Shalesy and stuff like that. Like from you being that, like, you would have been 18, it must have been just surreal to, be put with those names. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, definitely. Like it was, I'd only been drinking for 3 months, and then to be put into putting in a team that, is, some of the best players to ever play the game, and still were the best players playing the game. So it was pretty surreal. And then you got Marshall Cronk, who was winning, world MVPs every tournament he went to that year. So
that's right too. Yeah, he was lights out.
Yeah, I think it was just wow, you're in this team, and it was pretty special, yeah.
So, I mean, what were the guys like before the tournament started and everything? When you guys how was the veterans and everything, getting you adjusted, and what were they like? Making you feel welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were quite, supportive, and didn't really try and fluster me with a whole heap of information. I think they tried to use the bit that I was a bit naive to who I was pitching to my advantage. So they kind of just let me go do about my thing and just give me encouragement and support when I needed it. So
yeah, that's pretty good.
I can't thank them enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, actually, now to think back, going into that, did you know who you were throwing to? Really, you get in there and Bradley's in there. Did you know what his, capabilities were?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just not really. I kind of knew who they were. You hear them on live streams and people talk about them, but I was I didn't really have that much of a clue, to be honest. Right. So, and at that time, a lot of IC teams are talking to me, and I just didn't have a single clue who those teams were. Obviously, I knew the Gremlins and the Chiefs and all that, and you watch them because of the Australian players in it, but the other players, I had no idea really.
Right on. So I mean that first game of the World Cup, you face Denmark and you throw 3 2/3 inning, get 10 Ks. I mean, that's all right. But well, was that a good one to kind of get your feet wet and get the nerves out, or do you even get nervous?
Yeah, I think so too. I think I always get nervous, but when I'm in the moment, it's just more of a, I've got a job to do and get it done. But obviously that was a good start. We get a win straight up, and it's always a good start when when I think Adam started that game too by memory. So
yep, he did.
You kind of watch him go out and do his job. You kind of want to replicate it for him. So
right now, did Adam get hurt in that tournament? I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I think he was dealing with a lot of niggles and
that's right,
stuff like that during. Yeah,
that's right. Now, third game of that tournament, you face Venezuela, and I mean they aren't pushovers at all.
No.
Like they can flat out rake at times. You go out, throw a complete game no hitter of 14 Ks. I mean, safe to say the confidence was starting to rise at that point.
Yeah, I think definitely, and obviously you don't really know a lot of those Spanish speaking players,
right.
before because you don't really get to watch that much of their softball. You do now, but it was very much. I kind of finished the game and I was like, oh, well, like on to the next thing. And the coach was a bit like, you just beat Venezuela. There's certainly no easy beats. And I was kind of oblivious still at that point.
Yeah.
Probably wasn't until we played Canada and those other teams where you get to see those players that you're like, oh, wow, like, it's kind of real now. Like these are big time players and they've all done it. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't have this down to my notes, but I'm trying to think back. That first game you guys played Canada in the round robin, they didn't. I think that was the game Mace had 2 home runs, wasn't it? I'm trying to remember back.
One above his shoulder, and then the next one at his eyeballs.
Yeah.
Marshall one about over one at his head. So
that's right too. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, for you to after that game against Canada, was that kind of like I shouldn't say a wake up call because it really wouldn't be a wake up. It'd just be like, oh wow, like here's what the world has to offer.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was, can't get away with just blowing it by everyone.
Right.
At that point, I kind of got to, hit some spots and really focus hard. And that's what I think that kind of made me realize. So
Right on. So of course you guys take down Argentina, the defending champs, 2-0 to get yourselves in the gold medal game. One thing I began to notice, especially in a later stage of that game, was that Shalesy was like right beside you before almost every pitch.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell was he doing? Still don't know.
Yeah, I think I didn't have glasses on at that point, so I don't think I could see the signals at night. So he was telling me what punter was calling.
That's all I got. I did have a question about your glasses. So holy shit, that just answered the question. So basically you're in there blind?
Yeah, well, not completely blind. I can make out some numbers, but I think Josh was a bit like, I don't want to take the risk because someone with good eyes can you tell this kid what he's pitching.
So, okay, then that's another side question I guess I have. Is that what the wristbands were for the pitch calling?
No, I only when there was a runner on 2. I can't remember if we used it for all the time, but
okay, yeah.
So yeah, he would just call. He would just tell me what was coming, and I'd just pitch it. But in the daytime, I was fine. So.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, it's just going. I can remember Shalesy being right beside you, and then run back to third base. I'm like, what the fuck is Shalesy doing? Jesus. Oh, that's good. So I mean, you get to start in the gold medal game against Canada. I couldn't imagine how I would feel going to that game with the start, let alone being 18 years old and doing it. What do you remember about how you and the team approached that game?
Yeah, I think it was definitely, obviously we just they touched us up a little bit in the round game. So it was kind of like we've got nothing to lose here. All the pressure's on them, but we can go out there and really, shake it up and give them a good fight.
Mm. Yeah.
So I didn't even know I was pitching the final until probably about an hour and a half before, like when we started warming up. Lengo's like, you're starting.
Holy shit!
So I think that's probably the best decision he ever made, was not telling me that I was pitching the final until right before because I had no, like I wasn't stressing or anything before the game.
Right,
it was kind of like just another day, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, actually. Keep your nerves down. 'Cause you're like, but you're also like, fuck, am I pitching or am I not pitching? So
yeah, I really didn't think because obviously Marshall had been pitching so well, it could have been either one of us, right? So
yeah.
Man.
Well, worked out okay.
Yeah, worked out all right. So, I mean, just how amazing was it, when you guys got that final out?
Oh, it was just relief, really. Like, I think the inning before they got a couple of hits, so I was just trying to get through a clean inning that game so we could, pretty much, start celebrating. And I think it was fitting that the last ground ball went to Shales considering how well he played, and it was, no one really knew if he was going to go again or what was the situation. So.
Right, yeah.
Right. Yeah, man, that was, I can still remember, well, I mean, we were disappointed being Canadian.
Of course, yeah.
But, I mean, just watching the performance you put on was like, man, it was legit fun to watch, man. It really was. Then, I mean, just over 4 months later, you're leading the U23 team to a World Cup victory, nabbing MVP honors. Was there a little bit of pressure on yourself personally to perform in this one, considering, what you did at the Men's World Cup?
Yeah, I think so. But in saying that, I didn't really let it phase me. I just went game by game, day by day. And
right.
Yeah, I think that was one of the tougher World Cups that I've ever been a part of. So.
No, I think I'm trying to remember if I read it or I heard it. I think I probably read it that you said, I think it was on the WBSC site where he said about the men's and the U23 team, the skill level and everything is roughly the same. It's just like the mental aspect of it is a little different. Can you maybe touch on that a little bit?
Yeah. So I just think that obviously a lot of our under-23s team you look at other countries, they've got some extremely talented kids. It's just the decision-making process behind that. That's what I think the difference are. So in men's games, you got, they know what to do in every situation. They know they've done it a million times over and over again. And I think it just becomes a lot easier for them to, perform at a higher stage because it's not as foreign as them. But at the U23s, like a lot of those guys have never even played a World Cup before, so they don't know what to expect or what to kind of plan for. And I definitely think that's the difference between the two age groups.
So being experience and maturity level would be more beneficial, obviously, for the adult than the
like obviously you look at.
Although you're not an adult.
No.
But I mean,
but you are.
No, but I mean, like especially like at the U23s, if a guy makes an error, I mean that might hinder him for the next 4 innings. But we're in the men's, those guys are able to shake it off, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I guess what I like to ask a question to you. Like, what is your approach to overcoming setbacks? Like when we talk about maturity level.
I'll just go on with it. Really, like nothing I can do about the past, and just got to live in the present. So, I guess that's kind of what I've lived by. Just if I walk someone, just go strike out the next 2 or 3 blokes. Like. Just the process behind it, yeah.
Working forwards, not backwards.
Yeah,
that's great.
I gotta ask about that final game against Japan. There, I mean, that was a 1-0 game. You guys score in the top of the 7th, go up 1-0, then you go out there and runner on second. That final out, who was playing short there? They almost dropped the ball there at the
No, so it was third base.
Oh, it was third.
Yeah, Riley James.
Oh, it was Riley.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
2 out. I was on my last legs because obviously it had been a big week. I think I threw every game by 1.
Oh man.
So it was it had been a massive week, and the ball goes up, and it was like I saw Riley put a name on it. He's usually pretty good under the high ball, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Like this is over. And then I see him bobble it, and I'm like, fuck, like, I'm going to have to pitch another inning. And he somehow regathers it. And, like, all our players were pretty much in the middle of the field. Japan probably could have just ran around the whole diamond, and they would have won the game. And he's just out there bobbling it.
That was crazy. I mean, you guys must have gave it to him after the game. Like, you had to have.
Yeah. Well, I was like, mate, if you drop that, I'm just gonna make you pitch the next inning. It was the easiest catch of my life.
Oh shit, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when was it that the Gremlins started contacting you and asked you to come over to the US and throw?
It was kind of before. It was around our national time, so before the World Cup. Was going to play for another team and kind of do a couple tournaments here and there with Gremlins, and then I think after midway through the World Cup, it was no, I think we're going to take you for the Gremlins now. So
yeah,
so it was pretty.
Yeah. Greg and Varmy and they saw that like we're taking them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, probably.
What's it like having to put up with Varm all the time?
Varmy's okay.
Oh yeah,
sometimes. Talk to him about golf here and there, and
he's a beauty.
That's
man.
about it.
Yeah, he's a beauty.
Gives you shit when you do something bad.
Oh yeah.
Gives you shit when you do something good. So
that's awesome.
At least you know what you're getting. So
yeah, exactly.
Shit.
Exactly. So I mean, when you get over here, how'd you settle into the new surroundings?
Yeah, I think I said it was obviously easy. I knew Tane a little bit because we'd played together. Obviously, just at the 23s, and we, had a little bit of a, we kind of chatted there, and obviously, like the legend status of Zenon and Cheese because obviously they're Australians, and I think they just make it, that team just makes it so easy for you to fit in, and they just, they don't care, but you can do whatever you want really as long as you're comfortable and as long as you're for the team. So
yeah, wow,
yeah, it's
family,
pretty quick, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially having Nick McCurry there, man. That guy's, I love that guy, man.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
He's awesome. Like does Nick get into good stories with you guys or?
Yeah, all the time. Like he'll be kind of gets the young fellas of the team and he wants to, take him under his wing and wants to tell you all these stories, and you sit there on the physio table. That's usually where he is, and if you're getting physio done, he's just there. Telling you about how he used to sell gloves and stuff out of the back of his van, and definitely heard the same stories a couple of times. But
yeah.
Did you watch the Fast Pitch movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'd already watched it before I got there.
Oh, so okay.
Like, whoa, what? He was in it.
That's awesome. Yeah, you get there. Oh, Nick McCurry. Wow. Oh, that's fucking awesome. That's so good.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that ISCs from last year. I mean, first, how was it, playing your first ISCs? Like, it's a pretty big tournament, and it's different than the international game, obviously. But I mean, everybody from the international game is there, just on different teams. I mean, for you, how was that first one personally?
Yeah, it was definitely, and being at Circle Tap as well was definitely something special.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was awesome. And then, obviously we lost to Bear Creek in the round games, and then to go 3 games in a row is something pretty special. And yeah.
Well, how was the mood with the team after, you guys dropped that Thursday night game to Bear Creek? I mean, how is going forward into that Friday game against JB? I mean, like for you personally going into it and for the team, you have kind of a long way to get there. Like, was the mood still upbeat and whatnot?
Yeah, I think the mood was definitely the same because I think we only lost 1 game before that game, so it's not like we knew we could beat every team there, and it was just a matter of if we wanted it, if we wanted it enough to go get it, or just to say, oh well, doesn't matter if we lose because we lost on Thursday. But none of us had that attitude at all, and we just went out there and played hard every game and just went win by win, and ended up finishing at the end. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys reeled 3 wins off on that Saturday, which and it wasn't against easy teams either. I mean, you guys
no, not at all.
Killed. I mean, Hill, I think it was 14-2 or something like that. Like that was crazy. And then who'd you have? Stompers after that? I think it was.
Yeah,
Stompers, and of course Bear Creek in the final. I mean, how special was it to win that, especially your first ISCs, but, not only that, I mean, to win it with Cheese, who's obviously been a big mentor in your life.
Yeah, it was definitely something that was special. And obviously all of us knew that was kind of Cheese's last one. And for him to go out a winner like that. And he had done so much for me that year. He took me to Japan, he took me to Gremlins, and he spent basically a lot of your time through that 3-month period with him. He taught me a lot, so I really just wanted to get it done for him and send him out a winner, and that's what we ended up doing. So
I guess you did. So I mean, I hope we have a good relationship with the Gremlins organization. We have some guys that we tap into for questions and whatnot. So I had I got a couple questions for you from the Gremlins. First one was they want to know, has your control improved because of the little target that you throw to on the Gremlins?
That's definitely a Varmy question, that one.
Yeah, we want to make sure that people know that not coming from us.
Yeah, these are coming from us. Yeah.
I think Mully, even though he is short, he does provide I think the glove that he has is exceptional, and he's really smart. And I think I definitely has it control. My control has improved a bit, and he loves to tell you if it hasn't. So So my motivation is to hit a spot so he can't whinge. So
how is it throwing to Mully? Because I mean, he's been through it all. He's been through the ringers. You know what I mean? Like, he's such a great receiver. Yeah. What's it like throwing to Mully?
I think definitely one of the smartest catches I've thrown to, and he works with you, and he always wants to improve. So it's not so much he's not telling me what to throw. It's more of a conversation, and you kind of come to a mutual agreement what you want to throw and what's working, what's not working. So I just think he's be by far top 2 catches in the world at the moment. So
right on. Yeah, I mean, watching videos of him and whatnot, he seems like he's very like motivating and very positive towards whoever's pitching, really.
Yeah. It doesn't matter who it is. He knows how to get the best out of that pitcher and get the win for his team. So
yeah. Another question I have is, of course, this isn't from us. Were you as sick of the former lefty Gremlin pitcher as everyone else was?
That sounds like a firm question too.
No.
Did I get some? No.
These are brutal. These are definitely Varmy.
Yeah, can't say anything bad about Cheese, man.
No, you can't. No, not at all.
No, legend in the game. The last one's pretty funny though. I gotta admit. Did you ever have the urge to tell the Gremlins manager on the mound visit that the only thing he knows about pitching is that he can't hit it, and he should just go back to the bench where he can't do any more damage?
Oh my God! No, not at all.
Not at all.
Definitely not. Yeah.
Those questions brought to you by Verm.
One way to be sent on a plane straight in.
Oh, Frank, those are great.
Yeah.
Vermy, we love you, man. Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, in an 8-month span, you won the Men's World Cup, U23 World Cup, ISC World Title. Do you look back on it and say, "Holy shit"?
I definitely do now. Considering you just went and you kind of do it again for the second time this year, and obviously not with the World Cups and stuff, but you kind of just realize how hard and like how easy that team made it look that year. Like, just we were so bonded and everyone was playing so well. You just even if you knew you were down by 3, you knew you were going to come back and win the game anyway.
What a great feeling. God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this year, going into this year's one, like, as champion, targets on your back, was it any different going into this one for you? Like I said, especially having the target on your back as defending champion?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think so. And we had a couple of, injuries, and, I think last year we just had a dream run. Everyone was fit and healthy, and, you could play the team in any way. But obviously this year we had, a couple of injuries, a couple of people leave. And I would just say that, Hill played an awesome game on the day, and we didn't. It's just as simple as that. And I wouldn't say that I didn't think we were going to win that game at all. I thought we had every opportunity to go out and win, and Hill just played better, and that's it really. And all you can do is tip your cap and move on to next year. And hopefully this year we can go back and give it a good red hot crack. And I believe with our team we can.
Right on. Yeah. I mean, you ran into a hot team, really. I mean, they basically did the same thing you guys did the year before, did they not?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, like, man. And Alan Pecker was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, speaking of Alan Pecker, and this may not be your answer, but who has been the toughest batter that you have faced in your career? Your long career.
Yeah. I definitely, for me, Marshall Cronk, when I have to pitch against him in Australia, and when he's on the drillers, he's always a tough out for me. So Marshall, that'd be like a personal thing,
right?
Would be me for Marshall, because obviously he's faced me a fair bit now, and it's always just a tough out. It's always deep into counts, and probably Cheesy's another one too. He's just because he's so tall, you can't really miss anywhere.
Yeah.
Actually, on the weekend, a team was trying to pitch out to him, and I don't know, the catcher decided to, instead of stand up in the other batter's box, he squatted, and the pitcher put one through the middle of the batter's box and nearly put it out.
Oh, shit.
That was a pitch out. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, this is just crazy.
That's a mistake.
Yeah, really. Yeah. I mean, a lot of pitchers have had their problems with Cheese and Cronk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a given. They're world class hitters for sure.
Cheese is so long and Cronk's built like a fucking pop machine. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. You mentioned about Cheese getting you over in Japan. I want to touch on that. Like, how are you enjoying that experience over there?
Yeah, it's definitely different, but it is good fun, and you definitely can't complain. And definitely different type of softball, different. They're obviously, the way they play it is different, and the way they approach the game. So,
how's the season run over there?
Yeah, so we just Josh McGovern and I just won it actually, not a couple of weeks back.
What, you won again? What? You don't?
Yeah. So I was in the 8th inning, he hit a home run to go up 1-0, and we beat them 2-1, I think, in the 8th inning. So
nice,
excellent. So I mean, as far as the culture goes over there, is it everyday living obviously must be a little bit different than it is back home.
Yeah, certainly, really different, but obviously Josh and I get amongst the culture a bit, and we love it. So
nice.
Definitely can't complain.
Right on. So I guess now that we're looking ahead to 2025, what's some of the goals that you have?
So obviously we've got a World Cup to prepare for, as trying to go back to back, which is something that only 2 teams have done, the USA and obviously the Kiwis.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're looking to do that for Team Australia, and I think we're just trying to prepare as a unit right now for that, and obviously just get a bit of downtime as well for now, and try and work on my golf game, and hopefully beat Varm next year. So
how is the golf game?
It's not too bad at the moment. I only really started playing last year, so definitely not the best golfer in the world, but just trying here and there and trying to get better, and just a bit of a outlet as well from the pitching, so you're not, running yourself into the ground with that.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's super frustrating.
It is.
There's no question.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, you go and if you get a birdie, you're like, this game.
I love this.
This is the best game ever. Yeah. Then the next hole you get at 18, and you're like, fuck.
Well, it's the same as you can golf shitty all day, and you get to 18, you par it, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm coming back.
Yeah, come back. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, pretty much.
Jack, I wanted to ask about where did number 57 come from?
So it was my first orange rep number. So they used to just pick the numbers back when I was in T-ball, and they gave me 57. So I wear 57 for everything but New South Wales, because at New South Wales they give you a number as well.
Okay.
So
yeah. All right. I was wondering, like, that was just a random number to see.
Yeah,
like, especially
definitely.
That first World Cup. I was like, 57. What's this? All right, we like to end every podcast with player association. Of course, I'm gonna throw out some names to you, and you just touch on them, what they've meant to you. If you have a story about them, like, let it fly. Especially, it doesn't. Yeah. There's no holds barred here. So I have to start off with, of course, Cheese, friend of the show, Andrew Kirkpatrick.
Yeah. Oh, definitely legend, really. There's not much in the game that he hasn't done and has been doing it for years, and just, longevity and just flat out probably the best to ever play the game. That's what I think. So,
yeah, he's, I mean, Hopi, we sing his praises on here all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
He's ridiculous. Next up, I have another pitching legend in Australia is Adam Folkard.
Yeah, I just think, again, what hasn't he done? Pretty much. And at his prime, there's no one that could hit him out, really. Like, it was more of a, he'd strike probably every hitter out in the world. And if they hit them over, it must be 1 in a million swing, really.
Funny thing is, I've mentioned on here the podcast, a few times over the last couple of years is, after seeing you pitch at that first World Cup, it's like you're almost a combination of Adam and Cheese, like Cheese being the lefty, and Adam was just so overpowering and whatnot. It was almost like you were a combination of the two, which is just, it's almost synergy when it comes to Australia.
Yeah, it's definitely, you watch them so much and you kind of, it's pretty hard not to, try and replicate what those two did, considering, that's all you really watch is those two guys just going out there and dominating teams. And yeah.
The funny thing is we have had Cheese on, now we have Jack on. Adam, when are you coming on?
I know, right? Adam has turned us down all the time. Come on, Adam. Anyway, next up I have you just mentioned him, Josh McGovern.
Yeah, the punter is definitely a character, that's for sure, and definitely loves his ice cream and all that kind of stuff, and
his ice cream.
Yeah, he's awesome. Like him and Mully would, I'd have to say, number 1 and number 2 catcher in the world. That's my personal opinion, obviously, because I throw to them. But
right, yeah.
Definitely, he's definitely one of my mates, and definitely grateful for the games he has called. That's for sure. Both of them. So.
Yeah. Actually, I was going back and when I was, I do my notes and research for every podcast, but I went back and watched a video from, was it not this year, last year's Circle Tap tournament where you guys were playing Hill, and Josh was in there against you. It was his first at bat, and it was almost like Juan Soto in there staring back at you after every pitch. Yeah. It's just like, it's like he was trying to get in your head or something.
Yeah. He always tries to play the mental game. That I always say he's cause I think he's definitely learnt it from Zenon, that him and Zenon are exactly the same human beings.
Oh, Jesus. That's two characters there then.
Yeah, definitely both.
Right on.
Definitely both.
A few more here. I'd be remiss in, of course, newly retired Lang Harrow.
Yeah. Probably the best coach Australia's ever had, really. And for him to be stepping away from, both the women and the men program is a loss that I think Australia won't realise until, we're in a situation where it's just like, damn, I wish Lang was coaching in that situation. So
yeah, definitely. I mean, that. Yeah. I mean,
one of the saddest things for Australia. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it really is. It's a huge loss to like you said, both the men's and women's game.
Yeah, I don't think it's fully sunk in yet, but I think Softball Australia will realise sooner rather than later at future World Cups or future events for Australia that, it was probably the best to ever do it for our country. So.
Right on. And I'll end it off with your bench boss on the Gremlins, Mr. Greg Leather. Yeah.
Obviously the person that, he looks after us and runs our team and always, supportive and always just has that conversation to see how you are. And definitely one of the best probably bench coaches or whatever you want to call them to ever do the IC game, I think. So
yeah. For sure. And of course,
he's a beauty.
Great friend of the show. And
only downfall is he goes for the Mets. So.
I know, right? Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. Exactly. Goddamn New Yorker going for the Mets. But I'd rather the Mets than the Yankees. I'm sorry. But
ditto.
That's true. Yeah, that is true.
Anyway, Jack, listen, pal, we got to thank you for coming on here. I mean, it's, we touched on the opening and said it's been a year in the making, really, because we just dates kept missing and everything. But, for you being able to come on here, you're such a big part of the game right now. I mean, easily the best pitcher in the world. I mean, I'll say it right here, phenom. But
in your 20.
In your 20. So, I mean, listen, pal, thank you so much for, taking the time and coming on with us.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, pal. All the best going forward, and
best of luck.
We'll definitely be keeping in touch.
Too easy.
All right, man. Take care.
Take care.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
See ya. Yes, sir.
It was great.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
It was, it's funny, like as we're starting the podcast and we're looking back and forth at each other, it wasn't like last week's with Doug where, you couldn't just let him go.
No.
Got to do a little bit of work on this one.
That's fine.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
I like it. No, man.
You know what's going to be funny, Randy, is we did this today. It's December, whatever it is, 2024.
Fifth. Yeah.
He's 20 years old. Yeah. He's going to be 21 on the 17th. Yeah. I really look forward to having him on again.
Yes.
In let's say 4 years.
100%.
And just, because it's crazy because he's a kid. And he was talking earlier about the maturity levels and experience and how the difference between U23 and the men are.
Right. He's
already at that level where he's dealing with the men. He's gaining the maturity and
he sees the differences.
Yeah. So that says a lot about a player.
I know, right? It really does, man.
Yeah.
Sick. That was fun. Like that was a bucket list right now for me personally. I mean, being a pitcher myself, and
not much of one.
Well,
but yeah,
man, you shoot me down. The fact, you know what?
Fuck you.
I went back and looked at that last week's episode with Doug when he said he was a C pitcher and he considered me a higher level, and you're like, you're maybe a Z pitcher or something.
I didn't know. I said G.
Either way, fuck off. Anyway. Awesome episode. Thanks again, Jack, for coming on, man. That's awesome stuff for you to come on.
I'd also like to send a thank you to those people that are purchasing tickets for that draw that Richie Connors just put on for us.
Yes.
Fantastic. Really appreciate the sponsorship.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe someday.
Good prizes. Get your tickets today. It's December 23rd is the draw.
Oh yeah, sure.
And it's going to be Facebook Live. So Richie's going to be live doing the actual draws. So
awesome.
Anyway, hopefully another week,
He'll be doing the live draw in Antigonish.
Yes, in Antigonish.
Home of Pudge. Hey, Pudge, I said your name again.
What's up? All right, man.
Thanks very much, everyone. Pray for Kenzie.
Yep. Subscribe.
Merry Christmas from me because I won't be back until the new year.
All right. Yes. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Opie.
Thanks. I'll probably
be divorced
and in the middle of renovations.
All right, man.
All right. Take care.
Classified.
All right, kids. Time to get in bed. Santa's coming soon. Okay. All right, just one story, all right? Here we go.
On a night so silent night, stay by the fire, baby, it's so cold outside.
'Tis the season.
It snow, it's already 10 below. We find the love out here on this Christmas night. The bells are ringing.
Okay, we'll grab the decorations. Don't forget tradition. Baby, it's cold outside. You need to get your mittens. Hang the mistletoe and write your Christmas wishes. It's better to give than receive. Show the kids the difference. Cause this year has been a tough one. I'm just trying to celebrate and spend it with my loved ones. Spread some cheer, pouring festive beer. I appreciate the blessings I was blessed with here. Uncle Chris and Aunt Lee are reminiscing on the front porch. Little Tay-Tay trying to build another snowboard. I hear the church bells ringing. I'll be there Christmas Eve with my family all singing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I said we be all singing hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. I'm saying.
On a night so silent night, stay by the fire, baby, it's so cold outside. We're singing let it snow, 'cause it's already 10 below. We find the love out here on this Christmas night. The bells are ringing.
Okay, well I'll be ready with the lights on. Got the decorations up, it's taking me all night long. Log on the fire, put on my ugly sweater. The children are
Are you downsizing? Maybe need more room because of additions to the family, or possibly seeking that dream home you've always wanted. Well, Tim Eisner at Royal LePage Atlantic is the guy for you. With a proven track record and multiple awards, Tim goes above and beyond to find out your needs and exactly what you're looking for. So if you're seeking a new home or trying to sell your current one, contact Tim at 902-499-5717 or check him out on Facebook at Tim Eisner. Again, that's 902-499-5717. Trust me, when all is said and done, we'll be saying Tim Eisner strikes again.